Okay, so we have our first coat done. You can see that it's a little streaky, but that's why we have to do at least 3 coats. So notice as I start to fill this one in, it looks a lot more solid. Okay, so I'm going to do that all the way around. With the blue to the green, I will speed it up because I think by this point y'all understand. But then I'm going to show you what we do once we have those 3 coats on. Okay, once I have my 3 coats, I'm actually going to go ahead and do the inside. And when you do this, we might not actually be doing the Sgraffito design on the inside here, but we do want there to be, you probably want there to be some color there. Okay, so now that I have the inside done and the outside done, notice that the outside is dry to the touch, but the inside isn't. So we'll have to wait just a little bit for that to dry. And you'll probably have to do another quick coat of that. If you want to speed it up, you can use the blow dryer to help speed up that process a little bit, but we'll be back here in just a second when this dries a little bit more to show you how to start carving. Okay, so I've let this dry for several minutes now, and now as I run my fingers around it, notice that no underglaze comes off. If you find that some of the stuff on the inside is a little bit streaky, go ahead and do a second coat there, okay? Or another coat. So now we are ready to start our Sgraffito design, and we're going to focus that on the outside, okay? So we practiced on our test tiles, and I want you to create a design that you are going to want to use. So I'd recommend using some of your clay tools. I just really like using a pencil because it makes it feel like I'm drawing. When we start to do this, it's going to be a little bit different than just doing it on our test tiles, but I would just start by lightly drawing into that surface, okay? I don't really have a plan for mine right now, which is not a good idea. Okay. Okay, one thing I wanted to show you quickly. Let's say you're nervous about just taking your pencil or whatever you're using and just starting to go in with lines, because once we start doing that, it's kind of hard to erase our mistakes. So here is a solution for you if you are kind of nervous about this. So I've already kind of traced this on here, but I'm gonna show you how this will work. If you have something that you want to create like a really intricate drawing, what you can do is you can just come get a piece of tracing paper from me and create your drawing on that. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that heart again. So it's not gonna be very great, okay? So then on this side where I have the pencil, wherever I'm doing it, I will just go over my underglaze area, okay? So I know this is not underglazed here, but you can see this. So then you just like hold it down. You could tape it as well. And then I'm just going to trace over top with my pencil, but I'm not carving, I am just drawing. You can kind of rub it a bit. Okay, and then that pencil drawing will actually transfer on. So I know that it looks like it's carved in, but it is not, I promise. So if you don't like something that way, you can just get rid of it. So that's one way you could go about doing that. So here, I transferred it on. You can see that that is just pencil. It is not carved in. But then if that's the design that I like, then I can just trace over top of it and start carving in. So that's an option too, if you're a little afraid to get started. So you'll notice you'll get those little crusty crumbs. And as you're doing it, the underglaze is dry, so you should just be able to brush those away. Now see how those kind of filled up? I need to get rid of that. So sometimes you might have to find a combination of some different tools to use so that that does not occur. So now I'm going to go back in with this one. Okay. So whatever your design is going to be, you need to do this Sgraffito texture all the way on the outside, okay? So I think you guys should have the idea and the practice down by this. And as you're doing it, just kind of peel those little things away. And I'm going to work on this off video a little bit, and then I'll come back and show you the finished result when I'm all done. Okay, so here it is all carved out. Notice I did not do anything on that inside rim because we're going to be pouring candles inside of them. I am just going to leave that solid. However, you could absolutely, and I might end up changing it, I could actually, I probably will extend my design to the rim, okay? And then you could do it on like this inside part here too if you wanted. I know that's kind of shadowed, but you'll have to decide that, okay? Now, one thing that I wanted to show you, I don't have this all cleaned up. You can see that this part of the design is really cleaned up. There's no little flakes or crumbs. This part is not so much. You can kind of see all of that. You'll want to kind of brush that away before. And then sometimes that gets covered up a little bit. So then you might just have to carve out a smidge more, okay? So we want this to be super, super clean before it's done. So that will be your last thing before we set it out to dry.